How are you guys doing?
And our first guest is official Nasty Leroy. How you doing, bro?
know, that nasty man here,
Hell yeah. That man from that town, Nasty
you
Leroy.
know, aka the mayor of Pound Town,
Mayor of Pound Town.
the president of the Nasty Nation, where all my Nasty Nation citizens be, you know, linked to multiple groups in wrestling, but there's only one group, and that is the Nasty Team
Nasty team.
Heck yeah, man.
that I am CEO of.
You got a lot of titles, Nasty Leroy.
Yeah, I got a lot of titles. I'm with a lot of groups, a lot of groups in wrestling. You know, some don't know, but I'm a member of the Nightmare family. Um, yeah, I'm a part of the
Heck
Nightmare
yeah.
family.
We
Got the
repping.
jacket and everything.
That's right.
Um, uh, new member of new member of the Second Gear Crew, Effie, uh, Matt Justice, and AJ Gray and Mance Warner, all crazy individuals. Might be joining the MDK gang, Nick Gage's gang.
How the fuck
It's
do you get
all
all these
around
offers, all
wrestling.
these different groups, man?
All the different groups that I'm in because I'm a loyal guy
Hell yeah.
and
Yep.
I fight for my people. So
Same here.
and yeah,
How,
I
how
got
long
a rap battle list and people would if you get on it. Hey, listen.
how long you been a member of the Nasty or not the Nasty, the Nightmare family?
I got in the Nightmare family around it was like at the tapings around May. So yeah, I got my jacket in May and stuff, and
That's such
before that, I was training at the facility and stuff, training at the Nightmare Factory.
that's such an
Homegrown
awesome
guy for
achievement,
the
man.
Nightmare Factory and
It is.
stuff.
That's an awesome achievement because that just it emulates so much history going back to Dusty Rhodes because Dusty Rhodes, his son Cody Rhodes, is also a member of the Nightmare family, and there's just so much history behind it, and it's illustrious careers of a lot of people come out of the Nightmare family.
I love to learn about it.
Hell
I
yeah.
love it.
We got a few
Yeah,
questions for you, bro. So when you were a kid, when you first got into wrestling, who was your first fan? Who were you a big fan of?
it was my first time watching wrestling was like I ain't watched so being a kid from the Northeast. Uh, you would think I watched WWF and stuff like that, but no, I never went to I never went to my first WWF show until later on into my teens. My first wrestling show was ECW and stuff. So
In Philly?
yeah, in Philly at the ECW arena, like literally back like 90, probably like 97,
That's
or
incredible.
even 96, somewhere in the mid 90s.
That was when I showed you that the fans used to bring weapons to the arena for more people to use.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
That's crazy.
So did you work or not? Did you get to see Paul Heyman and all that?
Um, I got to see to Jerry. I mainly got to see Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam
RVD,
matches,
hell yeah.
and I saw Bam Bam Bigelow. I saw Taz. Yeah, so I was there when they faced off. I saw New Jack.
Uh-oh.
And, and that was like my first time seeing like, oh, even just a black wrestler. Just in general, like, so he go in there, he just be fucking people up. Um, and back then it was more of a Fight Club thing. I don't know if they had TV or not back then, but I know later on they had like a thing called Hardcore TV, like locally in Philly, that they would
Yeah, yeah.
push out. Later on it'd be on TNN and stuff. So yeah.
You got
Um,
pay-per-views later, I think.
yeah. I got a little story about that. Is my brother was about to fight one of the Dudleys, and then I got in there. I don't know how old. I was probably like 9 or 10 or whatever.
Your brother was
Uh,
trying to fight one of the Dudley boys?
yeah, he was like, cause Bubba Ray picked him out and he was talking trash to him,
How
and
old was
I was
he?
like, so I grew up in a group home, and in the group home guys, they were like, yeah, they didn't really care what we did, as long as we didn't like get in trouble, whatever, and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think me and a couple other, me and my friend Dontre, we would be like a lot of kids swear, but I would be like swearing a lot. That's like it doesn't nothing change. So I was like, I was like, I didn't even know who he was, but I was like, they messing with my brother, man. Fuck you, man. I don't care who you is, man. I don't care. I said, hey, listen, you can get these hands too, Guala.
Would you say that's when Nasty was born, trying to fight the Dudleys in Philly ECW?
Nasty was born. Nasty was born much later. Like probably like when I got older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, as the nasty attitude that I have, this Philly attitude that I have, try not to be like you learn not to be scared of nobody, like especially in the neighborhood that I grew up in. So, and then I had an incident where I got as we call stole on, and then I didn't want that to happen no more, and I started fighting in boxing clubs and stuff like that, and I had to defend myself. So, yeah.
How long were you doing that in the boxing clubs?
I did that for like 2 years. I did that 2 years. I didn't getting it. It wasn't like normally you would have the money situation, but like the guy, he was like, I didn't want to. He seen me what happened to me and stuff, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna let you train here for a while, and then
So you could fight back, kick some ass.
yeah, because in the neighborhood, and in the dangerous neighborhood that I grew up in Germantown, you don't wanna be like a sitting duck. If you can't fight, hey, they know you're a sitting duck. You can get stole on any time. That's what they call a surprise party. So yeah,
Surprise party. That's funny.
because they walk up on you, surprise, put the guns on you. Like you'd be like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds having guns on you and stuff.
Oh,
So
Oh,
yeah,
hell no.
Hell no.
I'm terrible.
so yeah.
Man, so who are some of your biggest influences? Like in boxing and in wrestling as well?
In wrestling would be my biggest influences. Later on, my uncle showed me Dusty Rhodes, and I didn't know who he was, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, I like this guy.
Fucking
And
the American dream.
yeah, watching his promos, watching his in-ring style, dropping the elbow on people. Ric Flair,
Yep.
his
Marty
inspiration. And then later on, like I said, like in my teens, I started watching WWE. But back then, I started watching old stuff because I didn't really watch like at the time, it was the early 2000s, and I would watch that too, but I would watch like older stuff. So
Yeah.
Rick Rude, The Godfather, the Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry.
Yep.
And then a little bit more, like I was saying, ECW wise, would be promos, would be New Jack was promos, Shane Douglas,
Yep.
and then Joe Gardner, the stud muffin Joe Gardner, when he'd be like, and he'd be nice with the wordplay. It's like that's what I liked about him. He would turn it into another wordplay to another wordplay, and then he'd start off and he'd be like, well. As soon as you heard that, it was going down. So the inspiration, that's a lot of inspiration of what Nasty Leroy is.
So when you were like building your character and your personality and all that stuff that you want to use in the ring, were you studying a lot of this older footage and stuff like that? Did you go back and watch some of it?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of research of older footage and stuff back then when I was about in my teens by this time. So I would study like Flair, Dusty. I would study Joe Gardner a lot, and um later on when I met my friends, which we formed a group called the Nasty Team. A lot of
Yep.
women like to doubt my skills. I'm like, listen, all right, you want to doubt my skills? And then this is mostly when I be drunk all that of the time. So I'd be like, well, it is I, that Nancy man that is young, hung, and skilled with the tongue, and you can find out.
Yo.
Walk in and I talk like the Migos, okay? So that's what it is.
Man.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
But that happened mainly at Hooters. That mainly happened at Hooters. So I just was like, I've cut a lot of my promos at Hooters and people there too.
Promos.
Me and my friends. So yeah, that was our regular spot. That was our regular thing. If you ever go watch a show called Cheers, they would be at this bar all the time, and it'd be the same bar, but they would be like familiar with everybody, like to the drink makers, to the waitresses. That's kind of where I was for me at Hooters, and I only got familiar and started coming there regularly when I met my friends there. So which would be on the weekends. So every week, so it just months every weekend, like a Saturday would be like UFC night, and sometimes you go there, sometimes you wouldn't. But the main night will be Friday nights, and it'd be Sunday nights. And Friday nights had the DJ, had karaoke. It was good times, and then Sunday
Did you
was
do
like
karaoke?
all. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
karaoke. I did like the theme song that I barely knew. So um, Sundays would be football, and everybody had a football team, and we had a group called the Sunday Committee,
Who was your
and so we all cheered for different teams. I cheered for the Eagles.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I cheered for the Eagles.
Oh man.
I would cheer for the Eagles. And my friend Lil New York would cheer for the Giants, but he's not. I call him not really a Giants fan because he quote unquote pays attention, but he doesn't pay attention. Um, we had a Tampa Bay fan, we had a Lions fan, and we
Okay.
had a Rat Bastard Pittsburgh fan.
I'm a
So yeah,
Pat.
Hey,
I'm a Pats fan myself. I love the Patriots.
so yeah, we didn't have no Patriots in, but
Right.
whoever came in the door, we would. The main people who we would talk trash to would be mainly I would talk trash to the Falcon fans because I just I would tell
Oh,
I would
you
tell
got
you the
Matrix
truth,
in there
okay?
now.
So I would only I would only tell them the truth, and I'd be like, "Listen, this is just the truth. I'm spitting to you." Um, and then my friend, the belt guy, he would go out to Ohio. He would go out Ohio. He would go out to Ohio. Anything Ohio and anything Packard. So that's
The
what he
belt,
do.
the belt god. That's a different human being. That man.
Yeah. See. Oh, that's him 24/7. That's not even a
Oh, I
character. That's
know.
him
I know.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about Ohio. He gets on a rant about Ohio. So yeah.
Yeah.
so man, how long have you been doing this?
I've been around wrestling since 2014,
Hmm.
but I started to really I wanted to take my career to the next level, so I had to leave my previous school at the time to get better because I just felt like I was just stuck there in one place and I wasn't being appreciated basically.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I just
Understandable.
went to different schools and
Yeah.
I'm not.
Probably
This is
taught you
no
some
this
different. Probably taught you
huh?
some different styles and stuff like that, huh? Going to different schools.
Yeah, I went to different schools, but the different schools would never be teach me not. They wouldn't say they would teach me nothing new. I would have to start over, but then I'm starting over. I wouldn't be getting used. I wouldn't be getting utilized. I wouldn't be getting no matches. I never had I was somewhere for 4 years, and I had matches, but I never had my one-on-one match. So I
Right.
never
Like
had
the
to.
match. Yeah.
So I did a whole lot of battle royals.
Mhm.
Uh, and so, yeah, I went to a whole bunch of different schools around the southeast, and then I was gonna go through the northeast, and then it just so happens, and when I left, it was about 2016, the end of 2016, uh, the end, no, Mount. It was around the beginning of 2017 when I started. I left in 2016, like the end of it, and then I just ran around in 2017. And then so Romania came around in 2017. I had my job at the time. I left for the fifth or sixth time that people keep talking down to me. You know, I got all my money. I had $500 or $600 at the time, and I just was I put all my money into going down to Orlando,
Oh
WrestleMania
yeah.
weekend. I knew there was gonna be seminars. I knew there was gonna be camps and stuff. I knew there was gonna be WrestleCons, and that's what I did. I just went to a lot of seminars and camps, and all I did, even if they didn't know who I was, I went to like introduce myself to every wrestler that was
A lot of
at
network.
Wrestle.
Too.
Any wrestler, any aspiring wrestler can do that, but I don't know if it would work for them, but that was my strategy. So I introduced myself. I just like every wrestler that I knew that had a name, bam, bam, from the independents to like if you was on Impact and you still work indies, I
Mm-hmm.
just fucking would introduce myself. I did seminars with Nick Dinsmore, and then I did a seminar with QT, and like I don't know what it was for him. Uh, I guess he saw that I was working hard, or I was like, you know, I I was working hard, but I was, I'm not gonna share in bullshit and be like, oh yeah, I'm a high flyer, I'm a super athletic guy.
Right, right.
But don't get it confused that I'm not agile. I am agile because I did a lot of sports back in the day. I actually did gymnastics. Not many people know that.
Well, along with the athleticism comes, the personality, because a lot of wrestling is, character work and character building and an extension of it. So, you obviously have the one of the most craziest personalities when it comes to it. I'm sure he looked at that as well.
Yeah, I think that's what he seemed like. We was very similar. I think in similar personality wise. Far as like I talk a lot of shit, though. I just talk a lot of shit, just in general. As far as
Gotta
cutting
shit talk,
promos, I
dude.
just
You got to, man.
I've been cutting promos since I don't. I think it's just a mechanism just growing up because I was never the tallest, or I
Mm-hmm.
was like I just became like in my later years I just became bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but I was never bigger. I was a skinny kid, so I'd be talking. I was just had my mouth, if my hands didn't get enough. A lot of times, my mouth would sometimes get me out of trouble, and sometimes get me into trouble. So
Felt that.
I think that's what QT saw in me and stuff. So I didn't really expect to be with him. So his school came down to Georgia, and it was like way up in Georgia, like in the North Georgia area. And I just wanted to do an open house one time, and I was like, yeah, I want to train here, just be cool. But then I didn't have the, I was running out of money, so what I had to do is I had to get a couple gigs, and I had to get my money together, and that's what I did later on for the camp.
Yeah.
That's how I went. So I found their camp. They had a camp. It was like delirious. At the time, he was Punisher Martinez before he was Damian Priest. Uh, and they was all doing the camp. And I went in there, and I was just like, I learned, I knew what I knew from like past trainers. Of course, I know how to lock up, I know how to run
Right.
the ropes, that kind of stuff. So I did in there. He was like, we know if you have a certain kind of experience, the way you lock up, the way you do this, the way you do that. So I locked up and I did this and I did, I added my personality in there and yeah, so I actually followed QT because I wanted to go to the Monster Factory real bad. So, but they didn't let me up to the Monster Factory. So when he came down there, I was like, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go. It was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be on. I was only supposed to be there for like 4 to 5 weeks, and then I was gonna go up to New Jersey or Philadelphia area and train. So,
What was some of the hardest part of your training during that time?
um, a lot of the part that hard for me though, was like I just got it now. Um, it was working on hip tosses, working on this hip tosses.
Okay.
Um, my my body was beaten up from the last few rings, so I didn't really trust like how to just take certain moves and stuff. And like it was a boxing ring, so
Yeah, yeah.
last time it was boxing rings, and so my body was like beat up and stuff. But like I don't know what it is about hip tosses. I'm not 100% on it. Like I just don't feel like my body goes up most of the time. I feel like it like goes up a little bit, but then it doesn't go as up as it needs to go up.
Yeah.
So I started working on hip tosses and I started taking it the judo style way. So
All
I
right.
now that's what I do and pretty much everything else like sunset flips was the hardest thing that I had to learn and stuff, and then uh, was like for a while, not it wasn't for the longest time. I didn't have a struggling problem like I did for hip tosses and sunset flips, but body slams was a little bit different for me because I was like, I'm so used to being in this, like, guy picks me up and he's like put me in the world's strongest man slam position, but then I never learned how to push off with my hand.
Okay.
So like you push off with your hand when you get slammed. So I never really like got the pulse most times. So I would so that I learned that it took me a few weeks to do it, but I got it like that next week. I got it real good, and like now, like I'm good at like slamming people, and I'm good at taking slams.
Hell yeah.
There you go, man. So all these matches you mentioned, out of all of them, what was the most extreme one you've ever been through?
The one at GCW was the most extremist one,
Yeah, yeah.
But one of one fall was as fun as beating up QT.
Yeah, the QT one, man. You got that old school, like, I mean, you said that you listened and watched ECW. You probably learned so much as a kid, you don't even realize it. But you got that old school style. He's stalking around the ring and, hey, come here, man, and just fucking whacking them and shit. You got that, man.
Watched a whole lot of ECW, lots a whole lot of Mid South and stuff like that. Everybody in Mid South, they did that Jerry Lawler uppercut punch.
Okay.
They did the Jerry Lawler uppercuts, and they did the power slams, and they was like, that's their main moves. You got him with the power slam. Oh, 1, 2, 3. JR going crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
The old school ECW style, watched that. So yeah, I just I didn't know how much I retained with the ECW style. I know I knew some of it, but like not all of it. But like
Yeah.
a lot of people tell me, like a lot of guys from that era tell me, like, oh man, you'd have been perfect in ECW back in the day. Johnny Swinger said it, and like a lot of the guys in like from that era. So I'm glad. So.
Well, that match with QT, y'all beat the fuck out of each other.
Oh yeah, he got mad at me.
What is that? So what's that like, man? Like going backstage after you just beat the fuck out of one of your friends? Like, hey, man, do you just like high five? Like, do you not talk to each other for a couple of days? How's that work?
Well, the way QT works, he won't bring it up. He won't bring it up until a few weeks later. he'll he will. So I chopped the hell out of him a whole bunch of times. Like the first few times, it's funny because going back to the seminar, he would say I chopped somebody else, and he was like, "Oh, I'm never taking one of those chops." And then later on, he's taking a chop from me. So now that's my trademark thing for him to take. So he's used to it.
Take it,
yeah. He used to be like, God damn your frying pan hands, them hard ass heavy hands. And then says, yeah, he will like so a while. So I think like 3 weeks after that, he was like, oh, did you have to hit me like with like that with the cookie sheet?
Oh my gosh.
Did you have to? There's the one thing I got out of it more than anything, and I'm glad a lot of people watched that match. But my dad doesn't pop for nothing. He doesn't really get excited for nothing. So when he got excited, he like, ooh. I was like, yeah, that made my night. That made my night. I did a successful job.
A shining moment.
That was good. It was good, but I think he liked the GCW match. He was like, yo, that's the best match I've ever seen you in hardcore wise. So he's not. So
speaking of like friends in wrestling, like you were saying earlier, have you ever been in a tag team before?
Yeah, I've been in a tag team before, and I'm in one right now.
How do you adjustment to tag team wrestling versus single wrestling? Is it a little hard?
I think singles wrestling is harder than tag wrestling, to be honest.
Really?
Because because I have a mind for tag team wrestling, because all I did is study tag team wrestling.
Okay.
And like I can like I can like think of tag team moves out of nowhere. Like that's just how I go.
Yeah.
And that's how people tell me. But I really like using. I can use like I know like if you're a power guy and I'm more of a striker and stuff like that, and I got a little power, or you're a high flyer and I got a little bit of power, I can know how to use that. Well, like singles matches is more hard for me because um you're more. I know it's more conditioning and everything, but like I don't know. I'm not I'm not used to the attack. I'm not used to singles wrestling all the time. It's good sometimes, but like I like tag team wrestling. It's not. It has nothing to do with my cardio or my because I'm out of shape or whatever. I just love tag team wrestling. That's just how I get down. Um, um, I like the chemistry between two people. I like how the art form of tag team. If you really studied the great tag teams. They know how to click with symmetry and synchronicity and stuff like that.
Good teamwork.
Yeah, like so if the Dudleys they can go in the ring right now and fucking double
Oh
team
yeah,
on me and bam 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 like hit me with a 3D and it wouldn't be like no sweat
it's just second
so
nature. Yeah.
yeah so um I was in the tag team with Preston Vance for a
Okay.
little bit. We was the nasty muscle. Uh and we was there we was around for a little bit until he decided that he likes to hate on the indies. I'm calling his ass out. So he's
Oh.
Baron Corbin in the situation, he likes to hate on the indies, so he didn't want to be on there with me. So
Hmm.
he's I gotta get my contract and get the hell out of here. And now he's just a fucking robot. Now he's just the now he's just the number one on AEW. So good thing to him. But no, I'm in the tag team with Joey though.
Hell yeah, Joey Janela.
Yeah, the Joey Janela. He's tag teaming with Sonny Kiss on AEW. But I also have other tag team partners if he was not be able to be my tag
Yeah,
partner.
be your tag partner.
Yeah, I can call up Mance Warner, and there's a crazy Southern psycho. Oh, he's a Southern psycho who just drinks beers and he fights just like me. He drinks beers and fight.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Sounds like my guy.
so yeah, so if you get to watch Mance Warner, he's a good dude. He's on GCW, but he also is on MLW, so he's on both platforms. If you've never seen wrestling outside of WWE, it'll be strictly a pace. It'll be a different pace. It'll be a different thing. So yeah, him. I would tag with a guy named Effie. He's just as charismatic as I am. Got a jacket. He, got the whole pink jacket. A lot of different people that I can tag with that are on the here on the freelance circuit of professional wrestling. So
Yeah. So, have you ever held any championship titles?
no, not yet. I want to. I held a lot of gold. I want to have a lot of gold and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much everybody's goal into pro wrestling. But
Yeah.
Well, which championship do you want?
I mean, I would like a lot. I like a whole bunch of
Yeah.
championships. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
What's
I
the
know
number one
one.
title
I
you
know
want?
one. I know one particular person that will never face me because he's fucking scared, and this is what it
Uh-oh,
is.
uh-oh.
I'm not even gonna call him out. So
Okay,
it's what
okay.
it is. That's what I think. I personally think that, but we're not gonna call him out because you know, I'm not gonna call him out, but he know who he is.
It's a safe spot here, man. You can say it.
So
So,
it's for the promotion that I wrestle for, but
so we saw you on AEW that one time, and Tony Schiavone cut to you, and you were doing something in the crowd, and he said, "Oh, there's Nasty Leroy." I was like, "Holy shit!" He said his name. So, is your
yeah,
ultimate?
that was excited for me when Tony Schiavone said my name and JR. So I was like,
Yeah,
and Excalibur too, because I watched a whole lot of PWG, a whole lot of the stuff on YouTube. Basically, the whole lot of I didn't have enough money to get the DVDs, so I would watch the trailers.
yeah.
Hell
So,
yeah.
So, is your
yeah,
ultimate goal AEW then?
yeah. The ultimate goal is AEW. But also, before I get to AEW, I would like to get with this promotion called Beyond Wrestling, which is
Beyond.
Beyond Wrestling is in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, in the Massachusetts area. I don't know if it's like legit in Boston, but it's in the Massachusetts area, and a lot of the top independent stars and people who made their name and became stars wrestle there. So,
wow. All right,
that's good to know.
So, do you have any nasty merchandise? Any of that stuff? You sell merchandise for yourself?
yeah, I got this shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's prowrestlingtees.com/Nancy Leroy. And you can I got the Nash Leroy That Man shirt, I got the Nash Team shirt, I got the Nash Team mask, I got tickets to that town with the baby birds and me on there.
You got a Nasty Team face mask?
Yeah, I got Nash Team face
mask. Hell yeah.
And, I got the Nasty Express t-shirt I pulled up not too long ago, so all that nasty gear on ProWrestlingTees.com. You can check it out.
All the nasty gear.
Will do, man. So what do you do on your Nasty Leroy lives?
Hit your live
the lives. My bad, bro.
I mainly just like go Nasty After Dark. I just bring guests on from different from the world of wrestling, but I also can bring people from different worlds of entertainment. You know,
I got you. How many times think you get on there, man?
I usually would get like mainly about like 30 views.
Awesome.
So, you know.
That's great.
I know when COVID first started, I know Joey was trying to set you up on dates, doing the dates on Instagram Live. Did you get any luck with that?
Oh man.
You know what? I had picked my person, but I picked the person I wanted to date, but I messed her name up a lot of times. He's like, you can't win the contest if you don't know her name. I was like, I'm trying to say it right. He's like, you saying it wrong. And he's like, well, we have no winner. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Well, what was her name?
It was like, so I messed it up at the time, and I called it Martinez, but it was Martina. Cesar Martinez. She's wrestler for Ring of Honor.
Okay,
I got you.
She's in Ireland. So yeah.
So, could you describe to us like what your character is, like your base character for people that haven't watched you wrestle before?
My characters is me. Like my characters is me. This is me inside and outside of the ring. Like it's as one person told me at my job, you're a real life character. I just like okay. So to put it in this perspective, the character's me. But like if you got like the Godfather, Rick Rude, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes,
everybody.
Even characters outside of wrestling, you got Barney Stinson, you got who else? I gotta watch a couple of 1970 films of the Mac and stuff like that.
So you use outside sources for your research for your character as well, like films and TVs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I use a lot of I call them a lot of pimp. I don't even call them pimp movies, but like a lot of player movies.
That's funny.
What was it? How to be a player and all that kind of stuff. I always see just not like this Godfather and stuff like that, but like we'll say like not paid in full, but like state property.
Yeah.
A lot of state property in there, because being a Philadelphia guy.
The chat says that you remind them of Al Pacino or Robert De Niro Jr., Joe Pesci.
That's true. I guess that's true. It's a lot of different people that I watch. So it's a lot of stuff. I guess you would have to like if you've seen certain movies or whatever, you would see paying homage to those people, and
yeah.
It's just like what I watch, and then this is just me. Like it's funny. Like it's funny. My friend said he was like, "Well, you finally colored your hair just like your personality, loud." you know. But it's funny because when people meet me in person, I'm a little bit more quieter, and the only reason why I'm a little bit more quiet is because of new situations. You can't go all loud, but I've learned that you gotta go all loud because
Hey
you
man,
know,
it works. It makes you stand out.
you know, so so he's like, you get intimidated when you go backstage and you see like Christopher, so you're not getting, I wouldn't say intimidated, but you don't want nobody to be rubbed the wrong way and be like, hey, get this guy out of here, like Chris Jericho or
Yeah.
nothing like that. So I learned, you embrace your true self. It's just me turned up. It's two different people. It's Nancy Leroy and another guy. And
Mm-hmm.
another guy stays away because another guy he's a calm, cool individual who's chill and is humble, but also Nancy Leroy is chill,
Mm-hmm.
cool, calm, and individual and chill. So it's two different me's out there that I tell people. So
Different
for
Leroy's.
example, there's Leroy and then there's Nancy
And then
Leroy.
that's the
I
Leroy.
got
All
you.
right, all right.
What are some
Cool.
What are some of your moves, man? I'm curious.
Well, some of my moves is the famous, the famous American Dream elbow
Hell yeah.
drop.
Keeping it light.
But, come and call it the Nancy American Dream elbow and stuff,
Okay.
dropping on them. I like doing that because it's just fun just to drop the elbow on people.
Who
Uh,
ever
I'm
bounced
known
off the
for
top rope?
I'm known for my hands. I got the nice hands. Being from Philly and stuff. I tell people I be putting them to sleep because they gonna be going to sleep. They gonna be going to sleep. And I
Nice
say,
wheel hand.
get the pillow because you
Get the
going to
pillow.
sleep because you feeling these Nyko hands.
Yo,
That's so
bring
good.
the pillow out to the ring, man, and
You
put
got
it on
to.
the ring and they ask you, "What's that, man?" Be like, "That's for you, man."
Yeah.
I
Sponsors
might do.
with numbers.
I'm actually thinking about doing that, or be going to do that
Hell
in
yeah,
my
dude.
next match. So.
Let us know, man.
My main move it's called an answer rally, which I will kick the guy in the gut or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
He'll drop down to his knees and I catch him like a cutter, like an RKO or something like that. Catch him and then normally he falls down to his face and he's out of there. He's knocked out. 1, 2, 3. I got like 5 submission holds. Uh, my main one is the Clover Clutch style.
Okay.
Paying tribute to Sergeant Slaughter, but he doesn't use it no more, so I just took it.
Like
Uh,
accidentally put someone to sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Puts him to sleep. So puts him to sleep. I put him to sleep. I got the variant of the Rings of Saturn, which Pac does, but I do it. I think I do it better. So
Man, I think
I got the
Oh,
nasty.
man.
I
Oh
got
shit.
the
You're right.
nasty lock. I got the nasty lock, which is you just got to see that. This is where I tie. I tear people's arm. I tear people's hands. Not hands, but the two legs together, and one leg is trapped against the leg of my other leg, and then I got that one, and he's like this, and he's like, oh snap. So all that kind of stuff, and then I got the elbow drop. The diving elbow drop. I just drop it on him like. Just come down on them like out of nowhere. So yeah, my style is like all over the place. I can be a brawler. I can be a technician. I could be a technical brawler. So I can fly a little bit if I need to. I do a little bit of lucha. So I do
All
all
right.
that kind of.
What's your favorite type of match that you've ever been in?
My favorite type of match was this past few weeks ago when I was at the big event, collective weekend in Indianapolis for Game Changer Wrestling. But Game Changer Wrestling is one promotion. Game Changer had a whole bunch of different promotions from around the country.
Okay.
So they had all over the Midwest promotions and all over the country. Freelance Wrestling that's in Chicago, Glory Pro that's in the Midwest. Um, there was there was Game Changer Wrestling shows that was for the culture. It was an all black wrestling show that Jay Rose uh and AJ Gray came up, and then of course Joey Janela has his own thing,
Yeah.
which is Spring Break. If you've never seen it, it's a great show because it's got like the top guys all the dream matches you want to see on there. So on Spring Break 4, they had ACH and I call him Lionel because he little Lionel, but we're good now. We're good friends now. We're not beefing no more. Leo Russ and ACH, and you had Joey and Robert Gibson. And it was just a stacked card. Like, you guys check it out. And in the clusterfuck where I was in, I got to be in the clusterfuck. So that's what it's called, the clusterfuck battle royal. It really is a clusterfuck. You just literally do all
Clusterfuck
kinds of
battle
shit.
royal.
Yeah, so it's like it had Mance Warner, it had all the Mance Warner and Effie and Matt Justice are all in a group, and AJ Gray, they're all in a group called Second Gear.
Smart.
And so it was like at least about 50 people in that thing. I came out at 24. Wearing my Nightmare Family jacket, doing my nasty
Throwing it up.
swing, dancing with a girl named Alley Cat, dancing with a girl named Alley Cat, as a crowd chant, Nasty Leroy and Nasty and stuff. And then it was one of my favorite moments until it got ruined by somebody, by a group of people who I will call them out because that's what's going to happen. I'm gonna call them out right now, and
Here
we go.
Their group is called 44HO.
Okay.
AKA the Ohio Rat Bastards.
Jesus.
But no disrespect to anybody who's a fan of me in Ohio. It was a part of the Nasty Nation. If you're a citizen of our Nasty Nation, I appreciate your support. But then they try to embarrass me in my biggest moment of my career.
Yeah.
And 44HO tried to embarrass me and by jumping me while I'm doing my nasty swing. And I don't like it. I don't like how they try to do it, I put the nasty team saw it. The nasty team was not happy, and we will handle that situation.
Yeah.
You gotta whoop his ass one day, dog.
One day we will put the hands to him at a GCW event, and the main person who came and attacked me, is his name is Edgar. His name is Agus Cougar, who came to attack me. Like the little rat bastard that he is, he attacked me and sucker punched me by the head. I was getting it in with the ladies. And one thing you don't do is, you attack that man while he's dancing with the ladies, especially beautiful ladies. Booger Wolves is a whole different subject, but yeah.
You don't interrupt the nasty dances or when talking to the nasty ladies, nothing like that.
No, you don't interrupt the nasty swing.
Mm-mm.
So, man, I got one last question for you, man. Who do you want to wrestle in AEW? Anybody. Who could it be?
Well, I like to wrestle a whole lot of people. Of course, I would not be remiss if I wouldn't want to wrestle John Moxley, Kenny Omega, people like that and stuff like that. Eddie Kingston, of course, is one of my favorites to wrestle and stuff.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be wrestling. We'd just be fighting. So we just be beating the shit out of each other, just going back and forth.
That's what friggin' New Jersey boys do, man. They taught them to beat the shit out of y'all.
So being a Philly person that I am, it would be Philly versus New York. But the person I really want to wrestle that I would like to wrestle on Dynamite would be my coach. We would have a great match. We would have a great match. If you think that hardcore match would be good that the fans bring the weapons, that would be good too.
That's awesome.
But it would be a good technical display of showing what I would say, coach and student, but I've graduated from the school, but I still train there, still showing what I be learning, what I've learned from him and stuff on a national stage. So
we got a question in the chat. Cheeseburger said, "Ask Leroy if he chops harder than Eddie Kingston."
Here you go with this stuff again, Cheese. Okay, listen here, Cheese. let me ask you something, Cheese. So he's trying to do something, right? He knows I can chop,
Yeah.
but he's trying to get something started. Okay, he knows I'm a good chopper, so we had this conversation a long time ago. Ask him, and he chop harder than me. I don't think so. That's all I can say.
Well, man,
I'm on.
we appreciate you hanging out with us, man, on our first episode of the Rope Break. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you, man.
Thanks so much, man.
And we had, and I'm sure who commented in the chat. I think it was, who was it? I think it was Rob. I think he said keep training, man. Achieve your dreams, and from us too, man. We're so excited for you and the future that you're building, man, with AEW and everything. Hope we get to Beyond. That'd be awesome.
Man, I can't wait to see how you do, man.
I appreciate it.
Bring that AEW style to Dynamite, man.
I would like the people to check out, the GCW roster that I'm on and stuff. Like, check out Spring Break if you haven't checked out Spring Break 4. Of course, you can see that them rat bastards jumping me like the rat bastards that they are, 44HO. But before that, I had a good thing doing an ass swing, and it was a good time. But also, follow my journey, and I like to post a lot of stuff on YouTube, training wise and stuff. So, that's what I'm always doing. And just to support, I appreciate you support the movement, become a member of the Nasty Nation. Not only a member, a citizen of the Nasty Nation, being the president that I am.
Get y'all some nasty merchandise.
Yeah, get this shirt. You can get this shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees shops. ProWrestlingTees.com/Nasty Leroy. You can go on the site. All you gotta do is type in Nasty Leroy, and you can see this shirt, the Baby Bird shirt, and you can also see the mask and the Nasty Express. I got all kinds of stuff coming up, tickets, all that kind of stuff. So I'll be putting on stuff. Hoodies.
We'll definitely call you again, man. It's been a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk to you again and see where the future holds for you, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me. Like, you guys is a good podcast. So
Thanks,
man. It's great talking to you.
It's great talking to you guys. Follow me on Twitter at @NastyLeroy, and follow me and see me around the country when you do, and wherever you at. Stay nasty, my friends.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, you have a good one.
Have a great night, man.
Nasty family.
Have a great night, everybody.
Nightmare family all day. You already know. Nasty team in the building.